So listen to me when I say this, guys. You will not find somebody if you're just out there searching. It's just not gonna happen because one thing I learned was when you go searching for people, you usually find somebody that's very incompatible with you. And you guys have literally like all different, personality traits, different preferences, different lifestyles. And it like don't get me wrong, it's okay to have different lifestyles and like your activities and hobbies. That's okay because you guys can have something else that you have in common. You don't have to have everything in common. Not every person is gonna have literally everything in common. That's just not possible. But what I'm trying to say is that when you go and find an incompatible person that's not compatible with any of your personality traits, or they don't have anything, like they don't have any interest, same type of interest that you have, right? And imagine they go to parties, right? Or you stay home and you play the video game, but they go to parties every day and you stay home every day and work out. You know what I'm saying? You're doing something productive, but they're not doing anything productive, right? You tend to get the bad habits that they have because they get you into those bad habits and they encourage you to do those type of things with them. Like, hey, you want to go to a party with me? And the next thing you know, you going to a party with them, but you're going to a party with them and you start getting that same party life energy that they have. And it creates bad habits. I feel like another person can make another person pick up bad habits because this is very common and this is something that I went through. So when I tell you guys this, it's not to make y'all believe that relationships aren't possible. I feel like they are. Like sometimes I had false hope before and I wanted to have more hope. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm negative about it and I think that relationships aren't even believable. I feel like they're fake sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. But there are a lot of times, like right now, like where I'm just like, I just be overthinking it right now. I mean, I just be overthinking it sometimes. And just because things don't go my way in a relationship, I feel like all relationships are doomed. And that's just not the case. Maybe it's something that you have to work on. Maybe it's something that we have to work on. A big part of that is communication. I used to talk to this like person a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use it as an example. I used to talk to this person a long time ago and the communication just wasn't there. And I'm like, yo, if we don't communicate, then we're not gonna have anything. I don't know what you expect to have. And people usually don't communicate when they want to pull away or they're hiding something or they're just scared or don't know how to express their feelings, or sometimes they don't want you to suspect anything if they explain themselves, because sometimes when they communicate and explain themselves, they tend to tell on themselves and expose that they was hiding something from you. But at the same time, it's like if you want to be in a healthy long relationship for a long time, communication will always be key, and there's nothing you can do to stop that. There's literally nothing you can do to stop that. And not only that, you guys have to stop talking to so many people at one time. Like, I understand that, a lot of people think, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their opinions. A lot of people think that you shouldn't talk to somebody else. I mean, that you shouldn't owe your loyalty to somebody that you're not with, right? Like if you're in a situationship, you shouldn't have to owe your loyalty to somebody else because you're not with that person. And a lot of people believe in that. And I don't believe in talking to multiple people at once because I feel like it's honestly a waste of time. And what if you and all of those other people don't even work out? You know what I'm saying? What if you talking to a girl that can't communicate? The next thing you know, you go and talk to multiple other girls that can't communicate, and then you're just left with nothing. You're just like, why didn't I just go one at a time at this point? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to all of these people, and none of them worked out, and all of them had bad communication skills, and now I'm just back to square one now. You just have to think about that, and I just feel like loyalty in a situationship is very good. People that show loyalty in situationships when you're not even together yet and you're just in a talking stage, those are the kind of people that you want, because I feel like those are the type of people that want to be married, and those are the type of people that's looking for a husband and looking for a wife, you know? So don't, like, when you sometimes you don't know what you have until you actually lose it. So when you take those type of people for granted, and then next thing you know, you get in another situation like that, and you're talking to somebody else, and you're just like, wow, but this is not working out. It kind of makes you regret not giving the last person a shot and not actually being loyal to them. And you actually feel really dumb about yourself. Like, really, like, this could have been that. Like, I really could have had love. I could have had all of this in my life, and I just threw it away like that because I was scared to open up my heart to them, or I didn't want to tell them the truth or communicate or tell them anything that was going on in my life. But when you do that, you literally push people away. When you don't want to communicate, that pushes people away, man. Y'all have to understand that nonchalant act and not wanting to talk about your problems or situations, that will get you left. That will get you left. And it I don't mean to sound rude when I say that, but it will get you left by not wanting to say anything, because that person gonna think you have no emotions whatsoever and you're just this cold-hearted person. Sometimes it's not like that. I can admit that sometimes some people actually do have problems with communication. Like, they're not good at communicating, right? And they can learn. I believe everyone can learn how to communicate. Some people, it might take longer than others, but everybody has the emotional intelligence, because we're all human. Everybody has the emotional intelligence to express themselves, I feel like. Nobody is incapable of expressing themselves unless they don't really want to. Some people don't even really try. Some people don't even really try to communicate or express themselves. They just shut down immediately. They don't tell you anything else that's going on. They lead you on without you having a clue. They leave you clueless, and you're just like, what do I do? Because you're trying everything to rekindle the flame in this relationship and nothing is working. So when you think about other people's brains, you're just like, wow, do you really have the brain capacity of a squirrel or something? Because why am I trying to talk to you and I'm not getting any type of communication back? And it's like talking to a brick wall, and it feels like I'm wasting my energy, my time, and my breath trying to get an answer out of you that I know I'm never probably gonna get. Because if I'm constantly asking you to talk to me, and I'm constantly asking you to, like, tell me things that are on your mind, and if you feel like I'm doing something wrong, or if you feel like we need to set boundaries, or if you feel like we need to do things that make each other happy, then you have to talk to me. I'm not gonna know any of that unless you tell me. That's why a lot of relationships don't work, because literally so many people don't want to talk to each other. And do y'all not realize how much, just sit there and think about the situation. Do you not realize how simple you can fix it? Like, it's such a simple fix. Like, relationships would be so much easier if you guys just talked, man. Just talk. Literally, just talk. That's all you have to do, is just talk. But they make it so hard and be like, try to blame their partner. And a lot of people don't like to take accountability either. That's another reason why relationships don't work, because people feel like when they take accountability, is going to make them seem like the only bad guy in a relationship. And no, your partner never said they didn't have any flaws. They just want you to take they just want you to take accountability the same way they would take accountability. It's called reciprocation, guys. You have to reciprocate what your partner does. If like reciprocation, good reciprocation. I'm not talking about bad energy reciprocation. Like if your partner does something bad, you go and do something bad right to them. No, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Because if somebody's doing something bad to you, they won't care if you do something bad to them. Trust me, they won't care about that because they did you bad for a reason. And the reason why they didn't communicate to you about why they did you bad is because they obviously didn't want you to know in the first place. And they didn't care about your feelings in a moment. When people do that and they hurt you and they don't think about your feelings in a moment, they were not thinking about you. They weren't. And it's hard to say that. And it's sad to say that. Some people actually do care about others' feelings, you know? Some people do. Some people just don't think in the moment while they're doing it and be like, wait, should I do this or is it wrong? Should I do this or is it wrong? Am I hurting my partner by doing this? You have to ask yourself that before you make these type of decisions, man. Like, and we're all human. We're gonna have bad thoughts come across our mind no matter what. I don't care how much God you got in your life. Like I love God, you know what I'm saying? He's on all of our sides. Like, God bless all of us, But it's like, when I say this, I'm not saying like I don't care how much God you got in your life, as in like, trying to say something towards God. I'm saying something towards you because you're human and God did not make us perfect. And he knows, like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't mean for us to be perfect. That's the thing. Like, we're meant to make mistakes and we sin. So am I saying it's okay to sin? No, it's not okay to sin. But the best thing to do is try to make up for them sins and do the best that you can to be the best person that you can be. A lot of people just don't try. A lot of people just don't really want to talk about anything with each other. And next thing you know, they're out here talking to a bunch of other girls and other guys. And you just ask them and you're like, why didn't you tell me about this? Because the communication is bad. You should have known that from the first red flag or the first sign that they showed you that if they weren't communicating, then they were most likely doing something to hurt you. Because people that communicate, they don't have anything to hide, man. I'm telling you. If you're communicating, it's literally showing that you have nothing to hide. If you're literally sitting there telling your partner the truth 24/7, and then they just come up blank every time you ask them a simple question about something and they just say, I don't know, or, I don't know what to say. They have to be hiding something, because why are you just like responseless when I ask you a simple question? It just doesn't make any sense, right? So I'm just like, yo, if you don't say something right now, then we can either talk later, or you can cut me off, or we just don't have to talk anymore. Because how I see it, guys, is I don't cut people off, but like if I didn't do anything to anybody, I'm gonna cut you off, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna block you or whatever, because how I see it is when we're talking and you do something to me and I didn't do anything to you. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I didn't do things to people. Not saying I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that I don't do things, because I do things that I'm not proud of, and I want to fix it. But I'm a big communicator. You know what I'm saying? I communicate in relationships and I have nothing to hide. I always tell the truth. Every single time I tell the truth. Not every time. In the past, I didn't tell the truth. But now, so I'm older and mature and I have a better head on my shoulders, I know what to do and what not to do. I know what to say out of my mouth. Sometimes I don't know what to say out of my mouth because I get too emotional and I let my emotions take over. But when I'm in the right state of mind, I know exactly what to say when when push comes to shove, when it's time to communicate, guys. I'm telling you, you got to. It's the only way you're gonna make something work. If there's no communication, then you just slowly pushing. Like the relationship starts here, and you're just slowly pushing until it's all gone. Nobody has feelings for nobody anymore. You're just like, wow, like I want to talk to a new person. And then after that, they go talk to a new person and it doesn't work out again because it takes two, and one person can mess up the relationship. It takes two to make a relationship work. That's why it's called a relationship, because one person doesn't. It's like you being true with yourself. If you can be true with yourself, you can make yourself. You can do things that you thought you could never do before. Like you could start being real with yourself. If you was being fake with yourself at first, you could start being real with yourself. If you learn how to be real with yourself, it's a skill, y'all. Communication is a skill. Trust is earned. It's not given. You literally have to earn somebody's trust. You can't just give somebody your trust, y'all. You can't. That's not how it works. When you think about the situation, right? You're talking to yourself. See yourself as your significant other, right? Say if you were your significant other. Ask yourself, how would I communicate with myself? And how would I talk to make things better, right? How do I talk to myself to make things better? And if I ask myself, Kendall, why do you do this? Why do you do the things that you do? What's a good example? Why do you not tell people that you're depressed all the time? And I know the reason why I'm depressed, but I just don't want to tell nobody because I'm either hiding something behind it. I don't want them to know that I'm going to try and do something to myself, or I either don't want them to know because I feel like they won't care. It's all fear, y'all. It's all fear. Fear is big. I'm telling you. The whole like meaning behind not communicating is fear. That's what it is. They hide something from you because they're scared. They're either going to get caught, they're going to slip up and say something that they don't want to say. I'm telling you, that's how it is, y'all. But I'm not going to make this video too long. And I know that you guys want a real relationship out here, but just be careful, be patient, and don't go rushing looking for things, because if you can't be true to yourself, if you can't know if you're compatible with somebody else, then don't even try it, y'all. But I will see y'all in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and y'all boy out.